What's up, Cornertalks family? So today is episode 4 of Cornertalks. I'm your host, Cheese, and again, we're by ourselves. Let's see when my co-host Meech comes back. I don't know when, but yeah, we got a lot of stuff going on. So MLB, not so much. One player got signed, but we're not really talk about it. Really, not that much going on in the MLB. But we talk about a lot of NFL, some a little bit NCAA football. I'm not really into it as much as I was when I was younger, but there was a lot of fights going on in both leagues, NFL, NCAA football, a lot. Some suspended, others not sure what's gonna happen, and then we got NBA. And yeah, let's get started. So, let's see. Let's start with Let's start with. Let's get with the NBA first this time. I want to get it out of the way since there's a lot to be talking about with the NFL and NCAA football. So NBA, the what's it called? A League Cup. So good amount of teams got kicked out tonight. Knicks versus Magic. Whoever wins this, move on. Whoever loses, out of the cup. I know the NBA Cup isn't the best. I feel like, in my opinion, the NBA Cup really is like kind of silly. Yeah, the players are gonna win $500,000, but why are you trying to turn into soccer, bro? I don't get that. Like, yes, I know they're trying to do this because they lost a lot of money and they're losing money like for a while now, because people are losing interest. But the reason why is this: why people are losing interest is that the ref's call is so bad, so bad. It should have been better calls in the NBA. You'd be seeing it straight. There's three refs on the court, three refs, and you have one under the basket and one on each side. And there'd be so many fouls, and I'm like, bro, it's literally fouls. So I'm like, you're not calling any of the fouls. The players aren't playing any defense. You saw how Luka plays. Luka plays no defense. Other players too, they just stand there, let them go by you, dropping 40 every night. And then you got people who are dropping 3 pointers. No, old school basketball under the rim. There's always 3 point line. That's it. So you're wondering why the NBA Cup is a thing now. Because they're trying to make up the extra money, extra revenue, but you're still losing money. So what I think the NBA should do is, I think the NBA should definitely like change some of the rules. Instead of adding this NBA Cup, change some of the rules, do better fouls, try to make players go to the basket much more. I'm not sure how they're gonna do that, but I feel like if they go to the basket much more and get better calls on fouls, I think the game would be much better, and I think they would be adding more money into their pockets. Because the NBA Cup is silly, bro. It's very silly. You're winning 500K, awesome, but you're holding a little trophy. What that doesn't even count as an NBA championship, you know. So you have that. You had that for the NBA games going on. I'm not gonna go over each game. I'm still gonna see what we can do for that. Let's see. Trades are trying to go on a lot. A lot of trades are trying to, what I mean by that is a lot of trades are still trying to uh, go down, but there's reports. You know how it is. Just reports, nothing's going on. It looks like the teams that are mainly interested in trading away their players are the Chicago Bulls and the Washington Wizards. The reason why the Chicago Bulls is because they had Zach LaVine, Vucevic, and Lonzo Ball. So they want to get rid of them. And it seemed like a lot of, what everyone's saying is that Lonzo Ball go to Charlotte because his brother. And there's a mock trade I saw, and it says this: the Hornets would get Lonzo Ball, which he will be a free agent 2025, and then the Bulls would get Cody Martin, I think a rookie, and a 2028 second round pick. That's not good of a trade. And then as for the Bulls and Magic trade, it would be Magic would get Lonzo Ball. The Bulls would get Moritz Wagner, not his brother, but Moritz. That'd be crazy. That's his brother. Corey Joseph, a 2 second round picks of 2026 and 2030. Not that much for Lonzo Ball. He's an injury prone player. There's no other mock draft of the other players, but I feel like it's just going to be very silly for the for the Bulls to trade away their players, because Zach LaVine is a lot of money, a lot. Nobody wants to take his salary. Then you got Vucevic. He's a really good player, but nobody really needs a center that bad, So the only player you can honestly see yourself trade away Lonzo Ball, because he's cheap. He is a good player, but you gotta watch his health. So he's a little bit of an easier way to get rid of. And I think him going to Charlotte would be nice. Him and his brother, dad wants it. I think it'd be nice. As for Washington, we have, as you know, Jonas Valanciunas. I think I said his name wrong. He signed with the Washington Wizards this past season, I think on a 3-year deal, $30.2 million, something like that, a 4-year deal if I'm correct on it. He wasn't going to stay in Washington. He wanted the most money. So that's why he went to Washington, because Washington knows they want to rebuild. They can get his value and get a good amount of money. Good amount of picks or young players out of it. And there's a potential trade that would happen if they did this. I don't like this for Washington. For Lakers, I like it. Lakers would get him. For Washington, they'll get Gabe Vincent, and 2 second-round picks. Why? Why? As for what would benefit the Lakers, would be Jonas would be a big that the Lakers need. They don't really have any bigs on that team. Only AD. That's it. As for Washington, makes no sense. You don't really need Gabe Vincent. He is a veteran, but you don't need him. You have too many guards. And they're all young. You're trying to develop them. You don't need Gabe. I would just ask for a second-round pick and maybe something else. Maybe a G League player. But I don't know. But Lakers, that'll be good for the Lakers, though. But yeah, nothing really happening in the NBA. Just that. I wanted to go over the NBA Cup. I'm not really a big fan of it. I feel like the NBA Cup, like I said, should not be in the league. Kind of silly. And it's just the NBA is losing a lot of money. So maybe the WNBA would beat them in money soon. Who knows? But that's a long shot. That's a really long shot. But yeah, let's move on to the NFL. Well, like I said, the NFL, there's a lot to talk about. A lot. Especially college. But let's talk about college though first, and then the NFL, because the NFL is much more. College I don't really have to talk a whole lot about. So college, there's a lot of fights going on, a lot of bowl games that happen. Rose Bowl, you got HBCU Rose Bowl, not Rose Bowl, HBCU bowl games, etc. All that stuff. And there were fights of, what was it? It was the 2 Carolina teams, North Carolina and North Carolina State. That fight, wild. Then you got Michigan and Ohio State fight. Oof, wild. And if you saw the Michigan-Ohio State, it was, the thing what happened was, they didn't like the fact that Michigan planted the flag where the logo of Ohio State was. And I can kind of see why the players were mad, but then again, has Ohio State done that before with the other teams? Or what? And Michigan had the point, hey, if you didn't want us to do that, you should have beat us. Hey, they got a point. I don't blame them. But what happened was, I saw a clip, it was a Michigan player, I think. I don't know. It seemed like it was either side started it. I think it was maybe Michigan, but they throw hands. Everyone started shuffling around, and then all of a sudden, cops came in. They pepper sprayed some of the players on Michigan. I think some of Ohio State, but mainly on Michigan. It looks like, and yeah, it was pretty bad. But as for the Carolinas, there wasn't that much. There was a couple of shuffles, but wasn't as bad as Michigan, Ohio State. But hey, you got like a good rivalry, man. We haven't seen this much excitement in college football in a while. Um, like it hasn't been doing that well with the ratings and stuff, and it hasn't been doing that good. But I think after this might help a lot. But a lot of the games I watched. Which one? I watched Gramble. I think Gramble University and I forgot the other school. San Jose? No, San Jose. Well, as you go, Gramble, HBCU school, they were versus another team in the bowl game. I'm not sure who won, but I know the other team much better than Gramble. I think the other team was 7-2, and Gramble was like 5-7. I don't know how they made it. I don't know. That was interesting. The record was not good, but yeah, the college game was nice though. Watching it, I haven't watched it in so long. I went to UCF. That's the only time I watched college football. It was a lot of fun during the time. I can go into detail of that, but it was a lot of fun when I watched it. Undefeated 2 straight seasons until we lost the bowl game. But yeah, college football is a lot of fun though. If you had to choose a college football NFL, it's tricky. It's very tricky because if you were gonna tell me this when I was younger, I would automatically say college football, 100%. But college football hasn't been doing good in so long, and it's kind of like you're not sure. And then the NFL is doing somewhat bad, but they're not as bad as college football. So I might be wrong. Maybe some people in the comments tell me if I'm wrong. Maybe NFL is better than college football, or college football better than NFL. Who knows? But yeah, that's it for college football. Really, nothing else I can really talk about. I haven't really watched none of the games, so I can't give you my full analysis. Well, actually, I did watch a little bit of Alabama versus Auburn. A little bit of it. I didn't watch a whole lot of it. I have to say though, Alabama was like 8. They were 8-3, something like that. Let me check. Actually, let me check if they won. Alabama football. Check. They win. Yeah, so they won 20-14 versus Auburn in the bowl game. Yeah, I saw the Alabama. They were like 8-3, something like that. 6-3. I think they were 8-3. And I'm like, Nick Saban would not accept that. He would have been like, nah, we're not 8-3. We're gonna be undefeated or 1 loss. That's it. But I was shocked though. They were doing kind of rusty in a little bit of the season. A little bit here and there. They were like about to lose a couple of games. Then they lost a few. And I'm like, huh? But head coach for Alabama, he's okay. I just don't know a whole lot. But I heard he's okay. As for Auburn is... Were they even good? What's their record? I forgot their record. I think their record was not good. I think Alabama had a better record than Auburn. But Auburn hasn't been the same since Cam Newton days, bro. They haven't been that good since then. Then we got... Yeah, I think that's it. That's the only other game I watched a little bit. So I watched a little bit of the Gramble Bowl game, and then I watched that, and then I watched a little bit of North Carolina and North Carolina State. But yeah, very interesting game went on. That was the last game before, the season, pretty much. Besides the college football playoff. Actually, let's check that up right now. Let's check the college football playoffs, actually. Because I haven't been watching who made it, who hasn't made it. College football playoff bracket. Alright, let's see. Who we got? College football bracket. We got Oregon, Texas, SMU, Boise State. Wait, unless I'm wrong. Hold on, let me check. predictions. Oh no, we're still waiting then. We're still waiting, but it looks like uh, it looks actually. Yeah, so it looks like they're ready set. If I'm correct on this, I might not be, but I think I'm 100% correct on this. Looks like it's Oregon number one, highest ranked conference champion, Big Ten. Ohio State number two, Texas number three, Penn State number four, Notre Dame number five, Miami, University of Miami, the U, number six, Georgia number seven, Tennessee number eight, SMU number nine, Indiana number 10, Boise State number 11, Clemson number 12, Alabama number 13, Arizona State number 14. So actually, let's go over this right now. Let's go over this right now. So college football playoffs. Let's start with um. Let's start with where is it? Yeah, let's start with Tennessee versus Georgia. Tennessee, and this is just me watching football like here and there. So don't get mad if I'm not the best, answers. But I think Georgia's gonna win versus Tennessee. Georgia's always been a very good football program. So they move on against Oregon. Then we're gonna do Oregon versus Georgia. I feel like Oregon is just overly stacked. Saw a couple of their highlights, a couple of their players on that team that's overly talented. So they'll move on. Georgia, I feel like Georgia may actually do a good battle with Oregon, but I think Oregon might actually win, at the end. Now we have Arizona State versus Ohio. I'm going to choose Ohio. Arizona State is low-key a dark horse team, but I'm going to give it to Ohio State. Then Ohio State versus Boise. I'm not sure about this. I haven't watched a Boise State in so long, so I have no idea, but I'm just going to just choose Ohio State since they're Ohio State. And then it's going to be Oregon versus Ohio State. That's kind of tricky. I'm going to give it to Ohio State. Actually, no. I'm going to switch it to Oregon. All season, they've been doing really good. Ohio State, yes, I feel like it can be a good battle, but I feel like Oregon will come, on top. And they're going to beat Ohio State for sure. And they're going to move on to the championship game. Now, the other side, we got SMU. We have SMU versus Notre Dame. SMU, I'm not going to choose them. The reason why I'm going to choose Notre Dame because Notre Dame, a better football program than SMU. SMU has been somewhat decent, not like Notre Dame. So I'm going to choose Notre Dame over SMU. Now we got Notre Dame versus Texas. I'm going to choose Texas, bro. I've been hearing a lot about them. I've been watching a lot about them. Pretty good team. Good fall battle, though. I'm going to choose Texas over Notre Dame. Then we're going to go to Indiana versus Penn State. I'm going to choose Penn State over Indiana. Yeah, Penn State's a little rocky, but I feel like they're going to come on top. But then they're going to verse the U. I'm going to give it to U. I'm a University of Miami fan. I'm going to choose them because much better team than Penn State. Penn State, really rocky. If they weren't this rocky, I think I would take Penn State. But no, the U versus Texas, I'm going to give it to Texas. Texas, way better team than the U, in my opinion. As a fan of the U, I got to say Texas are going to beat them. I got to say it. Next, going to be Texas versus Oregon. Really good game. I like it. Who's going to win up top? I'm going to choose. I'm going to choose. It's kind of tricky. Let's choose. I'm going to give it to both really good teams. I'm going to give it to Oregon. I'm going to give it to them. They've been balling out the whole season. Quarterback. Been doing awesome. Former UCF player, by the way. But I'm going to give it to Oregon, though. I feel like it's going to be a really, really good game. I just don't know who. I'm just up in the air with it. I'm just going to choose Oregon. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, college football playoff is interesting, just like NCAA basketball playoff. Very, you don't know who's gonna win, and you don't know, you don't know. So that's what I'm gonna choose to win it, Oregon, and how my bracket looks. Let me know in the comments how you guys think I did. Um, I know some of you are not gonna like it. Others could be like not bad. Others could be like it's good. I'm just going based on what I saw sometimes throughout the season and what I've looked at. Um, yeah, I'm not a huge college football guy. I've watched it here and there. I'm not as big as I am with the NFL and the NBA. So, yeah, that's what I got for college football. Now, let's go to the NBA. I mean, not the NBA, we just did it a while ago. Let's go to the NFL, my bad. Uh, the NFL. Let's talk about. We had a couple of. I don't know, we had a couple of fights, or was it? I know we had a fight with. Yeah, so it we're looking at right here, Washington versus Tennessee. Uh, they had a little bit of fight, not as big as Michigan and Ohio State, but they had an argument in that game. Then we got where else? Where else? What else? We got. I thought we had other games here. Hmm. I thought there were other games that there were fights going on. I don't. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe there wasn't any other team that had a fight. No, I think that was the only fight that happened. So I'm like trying to think. I'm like, there must have not been that many fights in the NFL. Maybe like two or three, but I think that was the only fight in the NFL that happened. Um, yeah, a lot of games that happened. A lot. Let's talk about the past games that just happened, and then we'll talk about what happened during those games, and then we'll talk about games coming up. So let's go to the NFL and let's look at the games. Some games I've watched, some games I looked at highlights, and others I didn't watch at all. But let's go to it. First up, Thanksgiving, amazing games that happened. Very shockingly, how that all went out. Bears versus Lions. Bears versus Lions. I said last week the Lions can blow them out. Pretty good game, honestly. Bears were getting blown out pretty much in the first half. Then they started to come back. Got a touchdown from Keenan Allen, and they were on a roll. But what's even embarrassing for a lot of Chicago Bears fans and the organization is that you could have tied the game and maybe won the game, or maybe even won the game, period. So what happened was this. If you guys haven't watched it, go check out the highlights. But you got 36 seconds left, one timeout, you're on the 40-something yard line, and, everyone's trying to figure out what's going on. The Bears are like, all right, what we got going on? Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. Still going down, still going down. And then all of a sudden, he hikes the ball with 5 seconds left, wasting about 30 seconds pretty much, and throwing the ball and automatically losing the game. Automatically losing the game. It's ridiculous. How do you lose the game with 36 seconds left? You have one timeout, and you could have literally won the game or tied it. More likely tie it, because, it's a hit or miss if you win the game on that yard line. But what the Bears should have done is spike the ball. It would have been like third down, if I'm guessing. Spike the ball. Try to run the ball a couple of inches just to kill a little bit of clock. Or at least get a first down and get even closer. Kick the field goal. And then go for overtime. In overtime, it really will depend. I think the Bears would want to get it first. Because the Lions were just going off on offense. But you could have honestly won the game. Like, it's that simple. Or at least more likely tie the game. I know I keep saying that, but it's just mind-blowing. Like, how you not... It's common sense. Everyone knows in football that if you have a certain amount of, time left and you have a timeout, you got to use it. The head coach was saying, I think the head coach was saying that, we were miscommunicated upstairs, the offensive coordinator, and we couldn't tell a quarterback what to do. And I'm like, what? Bro, the whole game you communicated until then. Like, what? Like, right then and there, you have an issue? It's not all Caleb Williams' fault. I feel bad for him, man. Justin Fields had an issue with the Bears. Then he Mitch Trubisky, if I didn't name his name right, he had an issue with the Bears. So it's always a cycle in Chicago. What are you doing? The last time the Bears had a really good season was back in like 2007 or something, when they went to the Super Bowl with Jay Cutler, and they had Brian Urlacher and all, Devin Hester. The last time they had a good season, like a really good season, and stable. So that was just a weird game, how the Bears didn't tie or win that or whatever. But the Lions win, pretty much have one loss the whole season. The Giants versus Cowboys game wasn't really that exciting, very boring, I would say. I watched it, I was like, bro, this is really boring. It made me not even want to watch the Dolphins Packers game because I was just so tired of how crappy the game was. But the Cowboys won 27-20. I watched, I would say almost all of it. Like towards the last couple of minutes left of the fourth, I stopped watching. But the Giants were doing good on offense the first quarter, on a roll. Drew Lock doing his thing. Awesome. I'm like, all right, the Giants may actually win this game. And like I said last week, the Cowboys were going to win, and they ended up winning. I shouldn't be betting on this type of stuff, I ain't gonna lie. But, but the defense, Cowboys defense were not doing that good. Giants were doing good on offense. Then all of a sudden, mistakes after mistakes. And what really blew the game wide open was when Drew Lock threw the ball, and he didn't throw it on the ground. He really threw it in someone's face. The guy tips it, went right to his lap, and he ran for a touchdown. Pick six right there of a lineman, I think, or a linebacker. That ruined the game for the Giants. They could have won it, or they could have, went to overtime. But the Giants could have won that game. They could have. Cowboy defense was not that good. Offense was It was, I don't know, man. I got nothing to say. But Dolphins Packers, I didn't watch that game. Like I said, I didn't really watch it. I didn't really bother. I watched football all day. I was kind of tired of not watching it. But the Packers beat the Dolphins 30-17. Packers on a roll. You know how it is. Raiders versus Chiefs. Raiders lost this one by 2. Watched the whole game. Really disappointed in the Raiders. I was rooting for the Raiders. I'm sick and tired of the Chiefs. I'm sorry. I do not like Taylor Swift. I'm tired of Travis Kelce and Patrick Mahomes. But the Raiders had a chance. Yes, I'm not going to blame it all on the refs and all on mistakes the Raiders had. But you got to say, NFL wants the Chiefs to win. The Chiefs won versus the Broncos by this much. They won versus the Raiders by this much. They should have lost. The Chiefs should have lost. But I would say at the end of the game, the Raiders did sold it. By the way, before we explain why they sold it, I want to say that there were so many flags on the Chiefs side. I mean, on the Raiders side, there's so many flags thrown, and there are maybe 3 and 4 on the Chiefs, and I'm like, bro, definitely helping the Chiefs winning on that one. But like I said, not solely on the refs. I would say partially on the Raiders as well. Toward the end of the game, again, could have won the game, could have tied it, whatever. Aiden O'Connell threw the ball, fumbled it, and turnover. Even though there's a flag, ended up being a flag on the Raiders. Yeah, pretty bad on the Raiders' part. They could have won the game, the field goal. As you know, Carlson wasn't having a good game. His mistakes really kind of sold it for the Raiders. But he missed 2 field goals, which was bad. it was not good for the kicker. He sold it for that team. I'm gonna blame it on him, kind of the most. Defense was doing amazing, holding their own against Patrick Mahomes and all. Offense could have done a little better, but running back did pretty good. Wide receiver did their thing. Brock Bauer did a really good game versus the Chiefs. I think one of his best game of the season. Really reminds me of Gronk a little bit. Better season than Gronk, by the way. If you check his stats of his rookie season versus Gronk's, way better than his. Hey, new future Hall of Famer maybe. Who knows? Raiders should have won that. The Chiefs won it. Trust me, the Chiefs do not have a good team. They're not a good team. They're not. They're just getting lucky. There's a lot of really silly mistakes on the other team. They're not a Super Bowl team. They're not. And if they make it to the Super Bowl, I swear, if they make it, I'm going to be pissed, bro. They're not worth going to the Super Bowl. They're not. They're not. Then we got Texans for Jaguars. Texans won 23-20, and we're going to talk about this. The fight that happened. So yeah, that's the other fight that happened. If you saw the slide of Trevor Lawrence, and he got hit, concussion out for the rest of the game. The player who did that hit got suspended 3 games. Is that guy's fault, or Trevor Lawrence not slotting correctly, or what? It should have been more than 3 games. I feel like 3 games a little bit too nice. That was a brutal hit. He used his forearm. That's a brutal hit. And Trevor Lawrence sliding can be one of the main factors, but you cannot use your forearm like that. He's sliding. Why are you using your forearm? So I feel like he could have gotten a better. How would I do this? I think I'll fine him and maybe suspend him 4 games, maybe 5. It's not good. It's not good. If he was just trying to tackle, then I kind of can see like 2 or 3 games. Okay, he's just trying to tackle. Stuff happens. But come on. And I know he apologized to Trevor Lawrence of what he did. That was a dirty hit, very dirty hit. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. Was that dirty hit or nah? That's just football. But we gotta talk about the sliding thing. So a lot of times, if you see in the NFL the past year or 2, 3 years, that the quarterback slide is a main talk of conversation. Do you think they should get rid of it? Do you think they should do it a certain different way? What? So I'm gonna say this. The quarterback slide has been doing good all these years. Yes, certain stuff here and there that happens, but not to the level we see nowadays. What I would do if I was a commissioner is I would say, all right, you guys can do this. If you're going to run out of the pocket and go to a first down, either go out of bounds or fight through it. Because if you slide, you're going to get hit in the face. But what you also can do is dive. So if you dive at their ankles or at their knees, the defender is not going to, hit you a certain way because they'll be like, whoa, they're trying to jump out of the way so that they don't get injured. So I think it's a smart thing to do. Dive at their knee or ankle, but not purposely, just get them aware of it. Run out of bounds or fight through it. Try to run someone over. That's it. That's simple. That's what I would do if I was a commissioner. Make those 3 little rules. Try and stop the sliding. Yeah. You even saw it back in the day. Matt Hasselbeck, former NFL player, used to play for the Seahawks, and I think many other teams. He had a hard time trying to slide. And what they did, though, is that they made it kind of like a water slide, kind of, for him to practice. It was hilarious. Like, you guys had to check that out. It was hilarious. I'm like, bro cannot slide. And I should be laughing, though, because I couldn't slide for baseball. But sliding is hard, though. I'm not going to lie. It is kind of hard. Especially if it's not, like, slippery. then you're like, ugh, you're gonna, yeah. I can't explain 'cause I'm not good at sliding, but yeah, it was not a good move of the Texans play like that. I know the Texans coach was on his side, but come on, man, it can't be fully on his side. That was a brutal hit. That was purposely, bro. It wasn't like accident. But what are you gonna do? Head coach, he can do whatever he wants. Now we got Colts versus Patriots. Colts won 25-24. Really close game. I thought the Colts were gonna beat them a little bit more. But like I said last week, Colts were gonna win versus the Patriots, and they did. Chargers versus Falcons. Chargers won 17-13. I think last week I said the Falcons were gonna win. I was wrong. Let's talk about Kirk Cousins' stats. His stats. 24 for 39. Okay. 245 yards. Alright. But no touchdowns and 4 interceptions. Pretty much more than half of it was toward the touchdown red zone area. And you see some of the highlights, how bad the throws were. You like what? So it looks like a lot of Falcons fans are getting fed up with Kirk Cousins. It sounds like people are saying they should bench Kirk, but you pay all this money to start for the team. Like their record is what, 6-6. If they won, it would have been 7-6. If they won 2 or 3 games, that would have been a little better record. I don't think it's a good idea if they bench Kirk. You pay all that money, and if you trade him, that's even more ridiculous. So that's just crazy, bro. Like Kirk Cousins hasn't been doing a good season. It hasn't been horrible like Aaron Rodgers type of season, but it's not as good as he was with Minnesota. Yes, I've seen a lot of Minnesota fans saying that good luck with Kirk because he does this a lot. But yeah, what do I know? I'm a Jets fan. We haven't had a stable quarterback in years. But we're gonna see what happens. I mean, I don't know. I think they're gonna keep Kirk. Why pay all that money and get rid of him? I highly doubt they'll get rid of him. But man, that was not a good game to watch. 4 interceptions. And then you have the Jets versus Seahawks. Get me started. Jets should have won this easily. We were up. We were getting another touchdown again. We could have been winning that game. But no, Aaron Rodgers wants to sell again. Through interception, pick 6 for the Seattle Seahawks. And the Seahawks win this 26-21. And there are noises that Aaron Rodgers might come back or might not, like we talked about last week. I have no idea what's going to go on, but I'm not going to talk about the Jets because I'm tired of them. And yeah. Titans versus Commanders. Titans got manhandled by the Commanders, 42-19. Wow. Wow. Jaden Daniels, that guy. Wow. I'm really impressed with the Commanders. They haven't been this good in so long. The Bengals versus Steelers. Defense of the Bengals really is blowing it for the team. Bengals are one of the top teams in the NFL when it comes to scoring points. The offense is pretty much top 5 of each category, depending on which players on the team. But the defense are throwing a game away from them. That's why the Bengals are 4-8. They could have been the other way around. But the defense, but you have to say the Steelers do have a good team. The Steelers are 9-3. So I think the Bengals are out of the playoffs, if I'm correct. If not, let me know in the comments. Then we got Cardinals versus Vikings. Vikings won 23-22. Did I say the Vikings were going to win? I think I said the Vikings were going to win. Yeah, I think I said the Vikings were going to win. Back to the Bengals and Steelers. I think I said the Bengals maybe would have won. I don't remember. But I said that the Washington Commanders were going to beat the Seahawks. And like I said, the Jets were going to lose first to Seahawks, and they did. That's funny, man. A lot of stuff would be right every week. It's funny. Some one or two misses, but a lot of it's right, which is shocking. Rams versus Saints. Did I say the Rams were going to win versus the Saints? I think I was up in the air with that one, but I think I said the Saints were going to win. The Rams were going to win. I don't know. But the Rams won 21-14. Didn't watch that game. Didn't know really what happened. Bucks versus Panthers. Bucks won 26-23. Like I said, Bucks were going to win versus the Panthers. Good game, though, by the Panthers. They are really close to winning a couple of these games, which is really shocking, though. Really shocking. Eagles versus Ravens. Like I said, Eagles going to win up top. But good game. Like I said, good fought game. But 24-19 Eagles. 49ers versus Bills. Like I said, Bills are going to win 35-10. Breaking news, by the way. Christian McCaffrey is out for the rest of the season, pretty much. So it's a PCL injury, which is pretty much behind your knees. So what happened was, what I've heard is that during one of the plays, he was running and he almost was about to break free until he got tripped by the Bills player from a shoelace and he landed on his knee. And what that does is that it irritates the other part of your knee, or of your leg. Which that's why it played a huge role in the PCL, because the next player or so later, he pretty much had issues. And that's when he went down. He was trying to come back later on in the game, and he couldn't come back. So he's out for the season more likely. If he was able to come back, it'll be more like Super Bowl if they make it, which I highly doubt they're going to make the playoffs because this team is a mess right now. Now, backup running back, you would think, my guy, what's his name? I have him on fantasy. I had him on fantasy just in case this happened. But you would think he would be the one backing up for him. But to be honest, it isn't. So Jordan Mason was supposed to be the starting running back, but he got injured as well. He suffered a high ankle sprain late in Sunday night loss versus the Bills. Injured his knee in the first half, but he took a larger offensive role versus Buffalo. He was able to play, but I think not at the level that he would have done. But I think the 49ers were like, all right, let's just, let him rest. He'll be back week 18. So, he'll be the starting running back pretty much when he comes back. Now, as for the backup, the backup is a little bit confusing. It looks like Isaiah Garando. I didn't say his name right, but the third string running back for the 49ers, going to be starting for the 49ers. Let's see if I can pick him up in fantasy. But I'm not sure a whole lot about him. I heard he's pretty decent, but he's not like Jordan Mason. We just got to see what happens. Now, as for the last game, Browns versus Broncos. Broncos won 41-32. If you guys saw the two bombs that Bo Nixon and James Winston threw, those were nice. And Bo definitely is a rookie of the year. Well, you can debate on him or Daniels, I feel like. You can debate on them two. I feel like Bo has a little bit of advantage because he's better stats and he wasn't injured. So I gotta give it to Bo for winning the rookie of the year. Maybe Daniels if something happens to Bo, but what a game. What a good game. It was snowing too. So a lot of people, when I heard that they were betting the Browns to win because James Winston did really good last week versus the Steelers. Wow, that was such a good game. And one guy, what's crazy? I saw on social media that this guy, he bet all these teams to win, And the last team he bet to win was the Broncos. And a lot of people were debating, like, should we, like, cash out or what? People didn't cash out, others did. And he won, like, 25 grand. And he put $20 down. He bet, like, 12 or 13 parlays, something like that. It was crazy, man. But, yeah, those were the game of this week. Really amazing games. Very impressive. Wins. Shocking losses. All that stuff. The Bears still should have won. The Bears should have at least won. Even the Raiders, all those 2 games. Oh my God. But let's talk about other stuff in the NFL. Looking at games. So we have most rushing yards in football this season. Oh, well, not bad. That's not it. Let's see. Try to look up any of these stats. So we got the 4 teams eliminated from the playoffs. New York Giants, Las Vegas Raiders, about to say Oakland, Jacksonville Jaguars, and New England Patriots. And even the Jets are out too, by the way. But yeah, they're out. There's nothing really to say about all those teams. Giants need to get rid of everyone in that organization. Raiders, you have good pieces, good defense, a little bit upgrade defense. Offense, maybe a better wide receiver. Running back, we need a better running back. That sounds like they have a good, decent upcoming running back. And you need a stable quarterback. Head coach, maybe. Jaguars, new head coach. New O-lineman. It may have needed a lot. Not as much as the Giants, but you need much more of a change. Patriots, I have no idea, and I don't care because I'm a Jets fan. What else? Let's see. And yeah, I think that's about it. If you guys saw in Buffalo, there was a lot of snow. Like, it was crazy how much snow there was. Whew. Like, every year they hire fans to clean up the stadium, which is so cool. They get paid like $20 an hour just to shovel snow. Light work. But I thought they did a pretty good job with it. But they were close to not playing the game. They were close to not doing it, but they had to. Would you guys go to snow and watch the Bills play? I don't know if I would. Maybe if they were versus the Jets, maybe. But I wouldn't really go to the game just to go because it was cold. Like, cold. But yeah, guys, that's it for the NFL, NBA, NCAA football. Oh yeah, and one more thing before the end off the video right here. So I looked up the rushing yards before, and I thought it was NFL, but it was actually college football. The most rushing yards in football this season. You want to know who is number 1? You know? Comment. Ashawn Genty. I said it right. I think I said it wrong. But he's running back for the Boise State Broncos. This is impressive. 2,288 yards. You know what the other guys are? It's a joke. 1,695 yards. One right behind him. The other one, 1,660. And last but not least, 1,577. And what I didn't even realize, I thought there was another player behind him. Well, it's actually him. After contact, it's 1,695 yards. I did not realize that. But the other 2 players behind him, North Carolina running back and my former school, UCF running back. Those are the other 2 players that have the yardage, you know, of 1,660 and 1,577. So you see the fact that the Boise State running back is a beast. That's going to go top 5, top 3 actually overall in the NFL draft. And you see the fact that he gets 1,695 yards after contact, and then the other players are just 1,600 or 1,500, period. So you see how talented this running back is. He reminds me of a mini Derrick Henry. Maybe not as big as Derrick Henry, but he just reminds me just how he runs on the field, just by how he is just so electric. But Derrick Henry in college, oh my God, forget about him. That man looked like he was like a grown man. He was still young. Even in high school. See Derrick Henry's picture in high school videos? He was running everyone over. But yeah, guys, that's it for the podcast for today. I'm your host, Cheese. Before we go, like, comment, subscribe for more sports content and lifestyle. I know we haven't talked about lifestyle yet, but we're going to talk about it soon. Yeah, see you guys in this video.